So the housing technology and hygiene and herd health of laying hens. So for rearing, the pre-rearing period is up to 5 weeks, and then the post-rearing period is up to 17 weeks, and then production period occurs. For the housing, they can be in a cage farm, a platform farm, or a free-range farm. In regards to the egg production, they produce 350 eggs a year. 50% of the egg production is at day 145. The first stage is at weeks 19 to 60. These are high levels of production. They need high levels of nutrients. The second stage is from week 60s onwards. At this point, they have a reduction of production and a reduction of nutrients, but they need slightly more calcium. During the rearing, the acceptable mortality is 4%, and during the production, the max mortality should be 15%. In the first 8 weeks of rearing, animals have development of their bones, organs, immunity. They need to be fed ad lib, and they should have 12 mg per ME and 20% crude protein. There are physiological changes prior to transferring them to the layer house. They have hormonal changes and their skeleton changes as well. They need increased feed consumption, and they need to prepare the body for laying, so increase the amount of calcium content, energy, and amino acids. They will have increased body weight gain and fat reserves in preparation for ovulation. The ambient temperature has effect on the feed intake. When it's around 20 degrees, they have more feed consumption, and when it's over 27 degrees, they have decreased appetite and performance. For the cage farming system, for rearing, the advantages are you can have a higher installation density, a lower risk of gastrointestinal disease, better regulated feed and water consumption, and they adapt more easily to transfer. During the growing period, they need an adequate feeding area. The stock should be homogeneous and there should be weight measurements. The sorting out should be done at the time of handling for vaccination and at the time of transferring them to the laying house. At this time, check the development of the beak, feet, and sternum. During the egg production period, the floor housing should be 8 to 10 centimeters of litter. For every one nest, there should be 5 to 6 birds, and the population should be 6 to 7 birds per meter squared. And the temperature should be 18 to 23 degrees Celsius. And then the light can be increased to 15 to 16 hours a day. During the egg production period, their feed increases. They need more calcium and phosphorus. And in regards to the egg storage and collection, they should be collected 4 times a day. It can be done manually or by machine, and then they're stored at 15 to 16 degrees Celsius. In cage farming, they have larger number of birds, it's cleaner, and the egg eating is minimal, and there are more stable climates. And the birds have less movement. It can be single story or multi-level. The birds can be in a group of laying cages or individual laying cages.